Someone was in my kitchen last night. I moved to this apartment about a year ago, and I swear that I haven't gotten a single good night's sleep since then. Every day it's been the same. Get up, shove some cheap crap down my throat, go to school or work, come home, veg out in front of the computer, try to sleep. And I do mean try when I say try to sleep, because I have to try to block out the sound of scratching in my walls. Just this scratching, faint, but just loud enough that I know I'm not imagining things. At least, I don't think I am. I'll be lying in bed, bundled up in maybe 2 or 3 thick blankets if it's winter, and just about to fall asleep when it starts. It's always quiet at first, but I don't think I consciously register it at first, but I definitely notice it after a minute or two. Scratching. Just this scratching in the walls, under the floor, sometimes in the ceiling. It always gets louder or closer every time I almost manage to shut it out. It used to keep me up for 2 or 3 days at a time before I'd just pass out from sheer exhaustion. I'm taking sleep aids now, but I'm not sure that's a good idea anymore. I used to think it was rats in the walls, and of course I reported it to the landlord. As rundown as the rest of my apartment is, with its water stains, ancient plumbing, and unreliable furnace, my landlord takes any kind of infestations very seriously. No one wants to get a reputation for having bedbugs and rats in their building, after all. I think it took him maybe 2-3 days to get an exterminator in to take a look at the apartment. Not that it did any good. The exterminator spent maybe 2 or 3 hours scouring every nook and cranny, poking his nose into every dark place behind and beneath my furniture in search of even one scrap of evidence that some kind of pest was in here. Nothing. He didn't find so much as a whiff of a rat or cockroach, not one stray hair or telltale dropping. He must have thought I was crazy, because I pushed him to look just one more time, stopped just short of actually tearing open the walls, but he couldn't find a thing. So when I heard the scratching in the walls again that night, I tried to tell myself that it was all in my mind, that I could just will it to stop. It didn't, of course. I wouldn't be writing this if it had been just that easy. It just kept happening, keeping me up every night, and I'd lay there, exhausted but wide-eyed and hoping, praying that it would stop. I even started leaving traps and poisons around the apartment, but nothing would ever be taken in the morning. I think that's about when things started getting worse, actually. I think I might have pissed them off by trying to kill it. It wasn't just scratching in the walls anymore. I'd hear things moving around and outside my bedroom, like animals walking around, or things being moved around on the tables and counters. I'd hear the quiet bump of something being put down, or the shuffle of something being pushed or dragged, but nothing would be out of place. It's like someone was rearranging my stuff at night, then deciding that they liked the way I had it better. I bought a camera to try to catch whatever it was in the act. I wanted to buy more so that I could have one in every room, but I could only afford the one. Since most of the movement seemed to be coming from my kitchen, that's where I set the camera. I set it in the corner where it'd see most of the room, turned it on, went to bed, and woke up to find that the camera had gone missing. Just the camera. The tripod was still there, completely undisturbed. But the camera was gone. When I was looking for it, I found a small, neat brown envelope tucked in my couch cushion that I sure as hell didn't put there. My hands actually shook and I could hear my heart pounding in my chest as I picked it up and turned it over. No address, no signature, not even a name. I don't know why I was expecting these things. Maybe I was just trying to find some strand of normality to cling to, some safety line to grab onto in the face of this insanity. I opened it, nearly tearing it in two because my hands were shaking so badly, and I nearly pissed myself when I saw what was inside. The memory card. I didn't even bother packing my bags before I left. I just had to get the hell out of there, away from whoever had decided to pay me a visit in the night. All I grabbed was my wallet, my phone, and my laptop. The wallet so I could at least get a motel room for the night, and my laptop so I could see what the fuck was on the card. The second I was settled in this crappy cheap little motel room with a bed that probably housed STDs still unknown to the scientific community, I popped it in the card. There was a single file on it, spanning from midnight to 4 a.m. That's when they took the camera, or at least, that's when they came in and turned it off. Most of the video was just dead air. Nothing was moving, nothing was being moved. I couldn't see anything that could explain why I had heard things moving around all night. Not a person, or animal, or objects moving by themselves. I couldn't believe it. Not one thing was out of place the entire night. Nothing fell, nothing slid around, nothing. I skipped to about 10 minutes before the end of the video, hoping to God that I'd get something to prove that I wasn't going insane, but dreading the impossibility of actually seeing whoever or whatever was responsible for me was tormenting. The kitchen was completely dark except for the nightlight I plugged in to keep myself from running into things on my way to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Well, that was the idea anyway. You can guess how often I willingly got up to use the washroom in the middle of the night once everything started happening. The light cast this kind of greenish glow on everything, more giving shapes to the shadows instead of really lighting up the room. I couldn't see anything out of the ordinary, but it was so close to the end of the video that I didn't want to fast forward in case I missed something. 9 minutes. Still nothing, but I swear I saw the light dim ever so slightly. 8 minutes. Did a shadow just move? No. I decided. Probably not. It looked too similar to how it was before. 7 minutes. Was that a thump in the background, or just a digital artifact from the mediocre microphone? 6 minutes. Did the camera just shift a little? 5 minutes. The camera is trying to focus on something. There's nothing there, but it's trying to focus on something. 4 minutes. The ambient noise has just cut out. The video is completely silent, but checking the audio information shows that the camera was recording every sound in its range the entire time. 3 minutes. The ambient sounds are back, but I swear they're louder. 2 minutes. I definitely heard something moving out of the frame. It's quiet, like it doesn't want to be heard, and it sounds very close to the camera. I think it's behind it. 1 minute. The nightlight goes off. It takes the camera a second to adjust to the complete darkness, and everything is still much darker in comparison to the rest of the video when it does. 30 seconds. The camera shifts just a little, like something bumped the tripod. 20 seconds. I think I can hear breathing. 10 seconds. The breathing was replaced by static. I want to call it static, but it's more like these distorted animalistic noises mashed together and forced through some digital filter. Fuck. 5. Something moves out of the shadows. It looks like a person, but the way it moves, it's like it's part of the wall, detaching itself and gliding toward the camera. It just stands there, staring straight into the lens for a few seconds. I say staring, but only in the sense that it's facing the camera. I can't see any details. No clothes, no distinction between its limbs and body, no face. It's like it's just this shadow existing where it shouldn't be. Standing there like it has some solid existence, like it's not some violation of physics. 1 second. The entire frame just goes dark. I go back to examine it more closely, and I realize that this thing had actually covered the lens with its hands, because I can see a couple of small slivers of the background between its fingers. I can't go back. This fucking thing is still there, and it's fast. I checked the video, and there was no transition between it standing and it covering the lens. One frame it's standing and staring, and next it's right up in the camera. I looked through the rest of the video, and this goddamn thing was standing in the shadows the whole time, just standing there perfectly still. I was still technically in the room for the first few seconds because I had to walk from the camera to my bedroom after turning it on. I was in the room with this thing, and I never saw it. I've been watching the shadows in my motel room for a few hours now, and I don't think it's followed me, but how can I be sure? Can I even see this thing with my own eyes? I don't know what to think anymore. I think I can hear something pacing in front of my door, but that might just be a cleaning lady or another guest. I just wish they'd leave already. It's been an hour, and they haven't stopped pacing.